very interesting start into turn 1.
Now, Sean, John's got a front-wheel drive, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. The ZS is a V6 front-wheel drive, a little bit heavier than most of the cars out there, so that could play into things as well.
Chunky boy.
Big fella. Nah, look, it'll be a bit of a handful, I'd say. Big front-wheel drive like that. They are a nice independent rear end, but as we line up for the start.
This is a good view. Big thanks to all our officials this weekend as well. Trackside right now is very cold, so thank you to all of them. We're getting ready for a race start here. 8 laps. Who's going to get the jump? Can the B out-muscle the Midget into turn 1, Sean?
Time will tell.
We're ready for a start here. Let's see how we go, and we're off. And the Midget's got the initial jump. Bit of wheel spin, and he is off.
As we thought, Mike Trathen's just got up the inside of the 2 front-wheel drives. He's going to make it stick.
And Phil Chester, 3 wide into turn 1. He's looking to make positions up. And we see Tony Volabret's got a good start. Jason Holmes has gone backward. Mike Trathen and John Illingworth made positions up. Mike Trathen is on the move. Look at him. He's made 3 positions up on the run to turn 3.
Bit of a gaggle there into turn 3.
Barry Pritchett staying ahead of Keith Ondarchi in the battle for the triumphs. Chris Ralph all over the back there, followed by Phil Chester and Bruce Asprey.
Oh, that visibility is fairly average for these guys out there. Oh yeah, I don't think it'd be too much fun, but they're pushing nevertheless. As we almost lose them into the cleavage.
Lucky the new regulations have rain lights. We can see the cars at least disappear into the fog.
Part of them anyway.
So we go up into up the top here into the S's here, and we've got Chris Ralph. He's having a great weekend. He's cross-entered in Group S and MGs, having a good run in his MGB. Very seasoned campaigner, come from Group N. Having a ball. Phil Chester all over the back here, looking to make a move up the order. Now, Phil qualified, I think it was 3rd. Bad tyre choice, finished 11th, so he needs to get back towards that front there. Any of you who've watched MG racing before, normally he's in a big blue V8B. He stepped into his spare car for a couple of rounds to have some fun in the mid-pack. We're looking forward to getting that V8 back out. He's made the move on Chris Ralph. So he is on the prowl. Let's see if Bruce Asprey can also make a move. Under brakes at the end of the back straight, Sean. Nice move.
Throws it up the inside. Very well driven.
Good call out to Jayco. All your caravan needs, head down to Jayco. Ask for Bruce. I'm sure he'll give you a deal.
We've got Gordon. Nice little triumph battle here in the between Alana and Gordon there. The V8 just walks away, unfortunately.
So yeah, we see Alana go past David Vernal here, so that is for position 12. The V8 on the move. Should be looking to get on to Chris Ralph soon. As we see up front, Bartley still leading Bulmer, getting a little bit of a gap. David Vernal on the defence of Gordon Bunyan now. Lots of action here, lots of people trying to find their place, especially after a mixed up race 1.
Oh, very busy after the results from race 1, definitely. Trying to find their way. Again, a few tyre decisions this morning, but with a dry track, I think most have gone with the dry weather tyre.
Yes, absolutely. Mike Trathen chasing Tony Volabret. Here he is.
Really putting the pressure on there in the Midget and the ZR. I reckon that ZR is probably twice the weight of that Midget.
And something you've got to be very aware of, Sean. I mean, the size difference. If you're in that ZR, you've got to have widths with you in your mirrors to see that little Midget.
Certainly. It'd disappear pretty quickly, I'd say, that thing. Beautifully presented car, though.
Mike Trathen returning this year, had a few years off competitive motorsport. He is back and he is driving very well.
Very capable on the spanners as well, Mike. He's a very switched-on guy. Chatting to him the other night for some random advice for John Makem. He's got a very level head in that car. Mechanically, he's on it, and he's going to have a go here, I reckon, or not quite. He's putting the pressure right on Tony there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how the tyres go over 8 laps, the cold temperature, but the Midget certainly looks like it's got the tyres working. He is pushing hard, looking for a podium.
I was going to say exactly. I reckon tyres have only just started to get up to temp come lap 3. We're coming into lap 3. There's 6 laps remaining. We got Keith there holding off the ZS of Mike Illingworth. And Mike Trathen just makes it through into turn 1. Nice little move under brakes there with the Midget.
Yeah, good move, Mike Trathen. And just off camera, while we were watching that, simultaneous moves, we saw Gary Bulmer take the lead from Bartley as he also set the fast lap of the race, 141.16.
Oh, that MGB is just hooking up, isn't he, today? Good on him.
He's got it hooked up, so he's taken the lead from Bartley. So we have MG Midget MG Midget, MGZR, and that is what MG Racing is all about. As we see Gary Bulmer here driving well, this car not so successful in its former hands, but he has got it sorted, and I'm going to say that. I know the Howells who had it, they struggled to get it sorted, but
let's hope they're not listening anyway. No. But look, that is not exactly an MGB, that one. It is definitely an MGB and inside and out, but there's a lot of modifications that have gone on with that car. Mechanically, it's very advanced and very modern.
Yeah, Gary driving very well. Good to see the front guys on here. Yeah, let's see if Gary can continue. It looks like he's just pulling a little bit of a gap, and Mike Trathen has been able to pull a little bit of a gap on Volibred as well. So we'll see if he can make an inroad into Bulmer. Just for those watching, Bulmer's car, 2-litre MGB.
It is still a B Series 4-cylinder cast iron block. It's got a cross-flow aluminium head. It's got Motec injection. It's got some serious kit in there. There is still the bones of an MGB, but as I say, very modified car. And again, as we've seen, very capable around short track racing.
And we see Keith Ondarchi using cubic inches to drive past Tony Volibret down the front straight, the big stag.
Oh, Tony's going to put it up next to him into turn one. Not quite.
Yeah, Tony driving very well, we have to say, at the moment. He's doing very well, so well done, Tony. Unfortunately, going backwards probably belies how well he's doing to be battling up there. But Keith Ondarchi, the big stag, it's good to see the big noise of the big V8 stag. That car looks good. I'm not sure any stag should look as tough as that one. Again,
looking like he's able to put the power down this morning, unlike yesterday where, again, I think he made a tyre decision and it came to bite him.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see how he goes, whether he can make inroads on Trathen. We have seen Gary Bulmer do a new fastest lap as well, 140.3. So he's on the push.
He ain't holding back, that's for sure.
And we see Tony maybe just suffering, whether he's made some tyre pressure mistakes here because he's coming under increasing pressure now. Jason Holmes catching him, and John Illingsworth not too far behind as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether that's something that Tony can get under control and get on the attack again.
Jason really putting the pressure on Tony here. He's all in his mirrors. Again, it looks something almost like a from the One Make series in the UK. Jason's going to have a go around the outside here. Not quite able to make it stick.
And yeah, just looking down the order, Barry Pritchett, P8 just behind this battle as well, and Phil Chester. So the top 10 full of lots of different cars. And I'm just having a look now. Keith Ondarchi has done his personal best, 140.0, as Gary Bulmer does a 139.7. So Gary has absolutely blown the doors off the fastest lap there. That's the third straight fastest lap he's done. Keith Ondarchi on the hunt though, and is now under a second from Mike Trathen. So he could be a bit of a dark horse late in this race to get onto the podium here. We see Barry Pritchett. This is a beautiful TR6 that Barry drives very, very well, doesn't he, Sean? This very quick car.
Takes no prisoners in the Triumph, that's for sure. He doesn't hold back.
Lovely guy outside the car, but I'm not sure I really want to race against him.
Nah, the red mist will definitely come down under that helmet, I'd say.
Drives it very well. Been a long time campaigner in the category, and this car very well sorted, but amazingly still goes quicker. This year he's been campaigning it competitively and doing new personal bests. And here we go. Keith Ondarchi, the cubic inches against the little midget.
Oh, he has a bit of a squirm out of there.
Bit eager on the gas, fries the rears up.
I'd say it'd be a lot of throttle mediation going on in that car.
He is on the hunt here, and the two straights here, we'll see what he can do, whether he can make a pass here. He certainly probably won't be able to do it under brakes, but maybe on the run to turn one he can get up the inside. He's still looking, but the little midget, Mike Trathen, gives him room, but makes it very hard.
Great driving. Amazing to see the acceleration of that midget with a big 5-litre V8 behind him. Again, and weight comes into it there, and Keith will just put the foot down and drive past.
And here we go. Look at that. The big stag opens the taps. They split Jim Dodd. Poor old Jim Dodd gets lapped there. And he would have thinking, wow, my doors have just been blown off.
And Keith leaves Micah hanging out to dry there and takes that position beautifully. Beautiful, clean driving, something I really enjoy about MG Racing. There ends up a battle all throughout the field, and yeah, a lot of fun for most drivers.
Now, just quickly, if you want to come MG racing, there's a couple of good cars on the market, aren't there? There's an outright V8. Vince Gucciardo's GB galvanising V8 is on the market if you want to come racing.
Beautifully presented car and very, very capable piece of machinery, that thing. Very well developed. Originally an MGC, got a V8 in it nowadays with a Monster 5 litre or something similar.
All right, don't scare everyone.
Oh, look, no, that's how you go quick, isn't it? Throw in the big power and put some big tyres on it and go and have some fun.
Absolutely. Seeing Chris Ralph back on the screen here, and he is chasing Bruce Asprey. It's good to see Chris having a good run in this car. And it's good to see the full windscreen. I mean, that's pretty rare in these Bs these days, isn't it?
It is. Again, almost a road spec appearing car, but again, very heavily modified to Group S spec. Taken about as far as you can take an MGB at Group S spec.
And these two quite different takes. Modern MG mid-engined versus classic MG front-engine. And he goes down the inside. We'll see the drag race down the old back straight. Bruce probably should have the power here, shouldn't he? He
should. He walks away very easily, but again, Chris will be putting the pressure right onto Bruce there. Driving the absolute wheels off that nicely presented MGB.
Yeah, these two doing really well. As Gary Bulmer has just lowered his fast lap again, 138.6, as we see Trevor Dunford looping it.
Had a bit of a whoopsie there, but he'll be right. He'll gather his thoughts and get right back into it.
Trevor, normally in a V8 MG, has stepped into an MGF for a few rounds.
Again, completely different car to drive. Mid-mount rear-wheel drive versus the front-wheel V8 rear-wheel drive.
So maybe caught him out a little bit on the change of direction there.
I'd say he's still getting his head around that one for sure. But he'll get it sorted and have a ball, I'd say. Great little car to get into an MGF. They're once you get your head around the mid-mount rear-wheel drive, they're very fun to drive on the edge. As Phil Chester actually just gets past Jim Dodd.
Well, I think that's
one of the back markers, that's correct?
Lucky, yeah. And also Keith Ondaatje has just done his personal best, 139.6. He's half a second off the back of Bartley, so he is looking to move himself into second. Here's Gordon Bunyan and David Vernal on screen.
Gordon's run with us a fair few years now in the invited British class in that little Spitfire Triumph. Really positive and consistent driver. Great addition to the grid.
Absolutely.
Good to see David Vernal out there again, having an absolute ball. Chatting to him earlier, he's really enjoying the time spent on track. As we've just seen Tony Vollebrant having...
No,
that's Jason Holmes, excuse me. Yeah, facing the wrong direction. Had a bit of a whoopsie. Hopefully there's no back panel damage there, no hearts broken.
Yeah, he was battling with Tony, so let's hope there was no contact there.
Indeed.
But yeah, good midfield, and just call out David Vernal. Normally on the other end, normally Clark course at a number of race meetings during the year, so good to see him on track and enjoying some motorsport, especially at the VHRR events, as Chris Ralph just runs wide on the exit there. That allows Rod Wells through, and here's Mike Trathen, who has got past Bartley, so we missed that bit. But so Ondaatje, Trathen and Bartley, so Bartley's gone back to fourth, Trathen onto the podium. The midgets are really, look, they've gone backwards a little bit, but they really suit this track. Also, just to call out, they are quite different cars, aren't they, Sean? So we've got sort of a flared midget there, and then we've got like a Group S midget, do we? Indeed,
yeah. Again, Mike Trathen's car, just quickly, is very heavily modified. Still A series engine. It's got a I believe an aluminium BMW crossflow type head on it. Quite a common period modification, I believe, and again, big slicks for a midget anyway. I think they're 8-inch wide slicks on a car like that. Very interested to see the Group S spec car again running in Group S this weekend, so very eligible Group S car all over the back of Mike Trathen there on the slicks. Again, indicating that there isn't still track temp, and big wide slicks don't necessarily help you out.
And it's good to see Mike Trathen still got Reggio in his car. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I was chatting to him earlier. He takes it for a test drive every now and then down the street. Not quite.
Don't tell Vic Rhodes.
No, not quite. No, he's doing the right thing. But has maintained the Reggio.
And we've got Gary Bulmer on screen, 138.4, new fastest lap, so he is still pushing hard.
Just taking the checkered flag there and won the race.
Here's David Vernal just trying to defend against Jason Holmes, who's recovering obviously from his spin. Jason's car a little bit more developed, so should be able to probably get by here, but we'll see how well David Vernal remembers how to race.
Indeed, he's kept it up the inside down the back straight. Can Jason go around the outside and make it stick?
Yeah, good battle, and Keith Ondarchi's crossed the line in second, ahead of Mike Trathen and Bartley. So we now see MGB Triumph Stag, MG Midget on the podium. So that's just shows the diversity there. Tony Vollebrett has taken 5th, John Illingsworth 6th, and Barry Pritchett 7th as we still watch this end of the race, and we'll see whether we've got a replay of any of the action just as we come across the checkered flag here. Jason Holmes drag race to the end, and he has got Gordon Bunyan by ever the smallest margin. Here is the replay. Whoa, that was loose.
Run a little bit wide there as it looks, and just overcooked it.
That was very loose.
Tony, at least there was no panel damage. We can all go home with cars on our trailers in one piece.
That was the drifting Grand Prix.
Oh, I'd say front wheel drive's got the better of him
And
there.
here we go again.
Oh, just pushing too hard perhaps at that point.
Well, he's got the highlights reel, hasn't he?
He has. I think he maybe wanted a bit of screen time. Is that
and Barry.
Maybe there's something out on the track there. Someone dropping a little bit of something. Who knows?
Hey,
They are MGs at the end of the day.
Just because they're MGs, mate. Come on.
Oh, look, we've got to be realistic these days, Paul. They are old cars. I mean, some of these cars are getting pretty bloody old these days.
So it doesn't matter what Sean says. They don't drop oil. It's okay. You can buy one and come racing. Thanks very much. That is our final race.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
We all agree now is the right time to start making choices to support Aussie businesses, supporting Aussie families and communities. Well, from their humble beginnings in Melbourne nearly 100 years ago, Penrite now sit as a truly respected global lubricants brand across automotive and industry. And the best bit, it's still 100% owned by an Aussie family that employs Australians in Australian factories right here on Aussie dirt.